In today's video, now that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania Ant-Man 3 is out, we're talking about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers 5, the Kang's Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. Rumor mills, leaks, they're everywhere. Oh, but leaks are never right. Oh, wait. I've got a really good track record of going over leaks that turn out to be true. No, I'm not blowing smoke up myself, but let's be honest, most of the leaks I go over tend to be true. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice you here? If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that I cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know, do you want me to reveal the Aquaman 2 plot that is nowhere to be seen? If I get enough people asking me down below, I will actually make a video on it potentially, and then you will see what I mean when I said on Twitter that the leak for Aquaman 2 that I got from a test screen information, it's a very weak plot. So also, if you could check us out on Twitter, the WashQT, and if you could check us out on Instagram at WashQ to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Right, let's get into this video. So careful spoilers. Ant-Man 3 isn't doing that well at the box office. $250 million. It's currently tracking lower than Ant-Man 2, which came out like 4 or 5 years ago, which is terrible for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I know what people are going to say, but we're in a different kind of world now. You can't really say that because Spider-Man No Way Home banged, Avatar 2 banged, Top Gun Maverick banged. So many movies have grossed over $1 billion since the world reopened, and gyms in the UK have been open well over a year now, so you can't really use that as an excuse. So it could potentially do well. Hopefully Ant-Man 3 makes at least 700 to 800 million. So this is the future spoilers. So when they did reshoots for Ant-Man 3, they changed the end of the movie 1 month to go. So the original ending for this movie was Kang the freaking Conqueror was supposed to get out of the quantum realm, and he was going to leave Hope and Ant-Man in the quantum realm, and that was the original ending. And speaking to a bunch of people privately, the movie would have done so much better with the general population and the general audiences if Kang got out instead of being sucked into the quantum realm source, energy source, and then he returns later down the road as the Beyonder. So information's been going around for the longest time ever that the Kang's Dynasty actually will be delayed to 2026, and the Secret Wars will be put into 2 movies, 2027 and 2028. I think that makes a lot of sense because quality over quantity is a thing, and Marvel has to make so many changes between now and between the Kang's Dynasty because of the reception, because Kang's reception, everyone agrees that Jonathan Majors is a very good actor. Everyone knows that. You should have known that before Ant-Man 3. If you've never seen him act in any other project, you don't really watch much TV or movies, do you? No, you don't. So Marvel have to make a lot of changes. So careful, spoilers don't really like. So there's a plot leak, plot information going around about the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. If you read the comics, you know loosely that they're going to end up in some kind of Battleworld in Secret Wars. But I always like to go over this kind of stuff. So it is worth saying, I've got no idea when this was actually posted. So Nathaniel Richards recruits the Avengers to fight the Council of Kangs. Now, I presume that's Iron Lad. Maybe they're talking about I mean, this information caused controversy over the internet the last few days. Spider-Man is the lead character of the Kang's Dynasty. Now, we know Tom Holland is going to make a lot more money. It does make sense because no one really cares. When I say no one cares, the general audience does not really care for the new Avengers or anything like that. So Ant-Man will play a pivotal role. Well, of course it does, because Ant-Man, in theory, kicks all off. So Doctor Strange doesn't appear in this movie. That's very freaking skeptical, because how OP he is. Featured characters included Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Black Panther, I presume that means Shuri, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, Shang-Chi, The Wasp, Stinger, Hank Pym, and Janet Von Dyne, amongst others. Shang-Chi's ring and Miss Marvel bangles are relics of the previous multiversal war and are more powerful weapons to use against the Council of Kangs. Yeah, I mean, most of this is common knowledge, so anyone could have wrote this. The Council of Kangs wants revenge against Ant-Man and his family, and they killed Janet. Okay, that's kind of spitballing guessing, so I believe it was the Cosmic Circus podcast, something like that, the other day, responded to some kind of tweet saying, yeah, it would have been better if someone from the Ant family died. Yeah, it would have been better if they killed Ant-Man or Janet, because Janet was down there and they all wanted Janet. Janet was the most wanted person in the quantum realm. Would make more sense. I don't know why wait until Kang's Dynasty makes any sense. Now, this last line here, I do believe it. Movie ends with the multiverse collapsing and Kang the Conqueror returning as the Beyonder, merging different universes into Battleworld. So, I feel like this is a culmination of lots of people's rumors and leaks being smashed into one. It is worth saying they're still writing the movie, it's not being finished being wrote, but it's Marvel, literally. Multiverse Madness plot leak was bang on. Thor Love and Thunder was bang on. Ant-Man 3 was bang on, even though they did reshoots. Information gets out on purpose to see what the general perception is. I'm not saying Marvel leaks it, but it's a bit ironic how information gets out so freaking easily. So, Secret Wars. Now, it's worth saying there should be, or maybe should be, Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars. Doctor Strange and Clea arrive in Battleworld and assembles its heroes to fight the Beyonder. Robert Downey Jr. returns as superior Iron Man from Earth 818, who conspires to steal the Beyonder's power for himself. Now, I believe this could happen. So, recently, Marvel VP came out and said Robert Downey Jr. is off the table. He was talking about Phase 4 specifically. Now, it wouldn't really be disrespectful to the way Iron Man died and said I am Iron Man, because this would be Iron Man returning as a different variant of Iron Man. It's not Robert Downey Jr., it's not Tony Stark from Prime Earth from the MCU. It's a different variant, and it would make a lot of sense. And the Tom Cruise rumor for Multiverse Madness turned out to be true. The next bit is kind of neither here or there. Correlates with a massive battle where heroes across the multiverse answer to the call to stand against the Beyonder. Now, Doctor Doom isn't coming up anywhere in any of these rumors, so I'm starting to believe that Doctor Doom won't be used for Phase 7. Featured pre-MCU actors such as Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKenna, Halle Berry, and Nicolas Cage, etc. I feel like they're just squashing all these rumors together. Ends with Nathaniel Richards becoming the new He Who Remains, policing the multiverse. So there's some more information here about who potentially is in the Young Avengers and who will make their debut. A 16-year-old Nathaniel Richards as a Kang variant who is the moral compass of the movie, will be key to finally bringing all the Young Avengers together for the first time ever. V will not be part of the Young Avengers, and she will not be involved when the team get together. You don't understand the context of me denying V. I'm disproving a certain unnamed scuba between tweets about V being in Young Avengers. So he's talking about Casey Walsh, who recently came out and said, true, and you should see her in Vision Quest along with Vic. Damn, I was trying to save this until I got my counter back. So Casey Walsh is one of these people who always has to be right. I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong. I don't take any preferential treatment to any wannabe scooper. I just report what kind of information's going around, and we try and dissect who's right and who's wrong. But overall, I think the plot information for both Kang's Dynasty and Secret Wars is kind of obvious that Secret Wars will culminate a massive multiverse of war and some variation of Battleworld. It will be a loose interpretation of the comic book run of Secret Wars, I presume. So it's not really that hard to believe what the information actually said. I just think it's a shame that Kang didn't escape and they went with a way of making him the Beyonder. Now, I don't think it's bad that they're going to make him the Beyonder. I just think it's bad the way they did it. He should have escaped and done it that way, because making Kang escape, everyone thinks Kang is a joke because normies who go to the cinema don't care for information outside of going to see a movie. So now a lot of normies have the interpretation that Kang the Conqueror is so freaking weak because he lost to Ant-Man and the Wasp. But kicking someone into an engine and then getting sucked into it and then disappearing to, I guess you could say, the Beyondverse or something like that, where he becomes the Beyonder. That rumor came out a few months before Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, so I am starting to believe that Kang will become the Beyonder. It's not a bad way to do it, it's not a good way to do it, it is what it is, it's interesting. So these rumors, taken with a bunch of salt, these leaks, taken with a grain of salt, whatever you want to say. It's hard to say if they're right or wrong, but let's be honest, there's been plot leaks and stuff running around for Kang's Dynasty and Secret Wars for years. We even knew there was a Kang's Dynasty. There's been plot information about Secret Wars before Secret Wars was even a thing, even though both aren't actually finished yet. To be honest, the Kang's Dynasty plot does seem a little bit boring. It seems a bit kind of obvious. There needs to be more threats. There needs to be more serious consequences. Only Janet dies. Okay, it doesn't say this is loose plotting, but more people need to die in these movies for real consequences to actions. They can't keep having everyone safe. We need more deaths. They need to kill off more characters in order for the emotional reaction, in order for a serious tone. And anyone could have wrote this, to be honest. It's somewhat decent. To say Doctor Strange isn't going to appear in the Kang's Dynasty, I don't know. I presume the Fantastic Four would appear in the Kang's Dynasty and the Secret Wars as well as the Fox version of the X-Men, because we know they're not going to introduce the X-Men or the new MCU X-Men until after Secret Wars, because rights and all that kind of stuff, they can't do it properly yet until after Secret Wars. So what is the freaking point? If they can use Ian McKenna, they can use Hugh Jackman, if they can use Patrick Stewart, but why not freaking use them? Because they have the pulling power, and maybe Secret Wars or the Kang's Dynasty will be what Multiverse of Madness is going to be, with all these crazy cameos that never turned out to be true. A lot of people would want Robert Downey Jr. to return, as long as he wasn't actually Iron Man. It was a different version of that. There's no problem with that. It doesn't really crush on his kind of death scene. The same with Hugh Jackman returning in Deadpool 3. As long as it doesn't ruin Logan, then it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't ruin anything. So the movie ends with the multiverse collapsed and Kang the Conqueror returning at the Beyonder and merging different universes into Battleworld. Yeah, I mean, cool. That sounds pretty cool, actually. So, like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WatchTube to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Let me know, do you think this information is true? Would you prefer the original ending for Ant-Man 3 when he escaped the quantum realm and left some of the Ant family in the quantum realm? I think that would have been much better, but the way they ended it sets up a much bigger story when Kang the Conqueror makes his return in the Kang's Dynasty. So like always, guys, check it out on Instagram at WatchTube to see a beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter at WatchTubeG. And I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.
Subscribe, like this video. Very good. See you guys. Bye.